Hi, welcome back to Mario and Luigi, Bowser's Inside Story. I'm Yamino Senshi.
And I'm Phoenix.
Last time, Bowser had a bit of a tummy ache.
In his shoulder.
Yes.
The locations of those places are not accurate.
No, not at all. I can see what was causing the horrible pain.
I thought he'd be used to worms.
Well, no, see, this is what happens when you eat organic produce. Pesticides aren't all bad. And to kill stuff like this.
He's going to eat them all.
Yeah, that third one, not good at pattern recognition.
This must be some weird breed of Wiggler-esque thing that apparently is not a Wiggler, but it's a little odd when there's already Wigglers that are giant caterpillar-y things. And this is like a slightly more traditional caterpillar.
Sort of. Except it has somehow evolved to eat antibodies and grow larger.
And have a bow tie? Or, not bow tie, a bow?
Well, that's how you know it's a female caterpillar.
Yep.
This is Dermite, our next boss battle. Boss attacks start getting a little more difficult. First one there is it'll turn red starting from tail to head. And it'll go to different speed, and at the slowest speed, if you pull your hammer back as soon as it starts, you'll drop before she gets to you. Other side, it can go very fast where it can easily trip you up. As always, your best bet is to just start wailing on it with special attacks.
Yep. Just have to use your old standby, shell to the face.
Dermite's next attack is it sends out that little sticky thread and tries to grab one of you. You gotta jump over it. Jump rope style. I'll go back and forth 3 or 4 times. It catches one of the brothers, chews them up for a bit of damage, and then spits them back out. Or there's a different way that attack can end, which you'll see later. The straw, which only has 16 health, will allow Dermite to heal around 40 hit points if you let it stay alive. Obviously, priority 1 is getting rid of it. The only problem is the way it dies is odd. It doesn't go away till the very end of a turn. So if you use a special attack on it, it won't die and then have the special attack go back to the boss. You'll just do 40-something damage to it. Totally waste your turn.
Could always use a fire flower or something to hit everything, I imagine.
I think fire flowers are still attack serially.
Are they? I guess so. That's true, because you do just throw the fireballs at a single target, I guess.
It also summon those antibodies in. Bowser's white blood cells. They can pretty much be ignored because their attack is very easy to counter.
They seem more concerned about getting Mario and Luigi out of his body than this giant caterpillar thing.
Yeah, they're not very good at their job. So maybe Dermite's eaten enough that they recognize her as one of their own.
It's assimilated.
Yes. Their spear attack can knock you over, leaving you unable to defend until your next turn.
Which is really bad in this game.
Yeah, it is, especially at this point. And that's the other way that attack can end. They rear exit. You can jump on the projectile brother. It won't actually do any damage to them. This is the start of, with the sticky string, boss attacks start getting very long and are multi-part dodges.
this one's at least kind of nice in that if you screw up once, it then hits that brother and ends the attack, as opposed to just continuing and hitting you every time you miss.
Right, there'll be plenty of time for that later on.
Yep.
If they come out the back, they can hit the other brother if you don't dodge.
Right.
I'm generally sticking with the shell attack because it's easier for me to get the full combo off than on the fire flower. And they do about the same damage.
Yeah, I think the fire flower's only real benefit is that it can burn them.
Yes.
And I think some enemies are weak to fire.
Yeah. Oh, I should have mentioned that. This game does have critical hits, but what they actually are is if you see critical show up, that means that it was a attack that the enemy was weak to. Traditional critical hits are just called lucky hits. A little more damage and Dermite should go down easy enough.
In a giant explosion.
I do like how instead of having them die, it sends the antibodies flying.
Yeah.
But that's I guess a double level. Downside to trying to time these, which, as you can see, I'm still bad at, is I have to sit there and let them run until I get a handle on the pattern.
Yeah. At least if you get a 1, it doesn't really lower the numbers a lot, I don't think.
But then I make up for it.
Yeah, Luigi can always use some speed.
He is slow. That out of the way, we can continue exploring this area, because for some reason, Bowser is still in severe pain. White blood cells have adopted advanced techniques.
Making towers of themselves that turn into drills.
Yeah, that's what white blood cells do, right?
Yeah, they just stack together and then spin around really fast.
Hey, found Toadbert.
Maybe he can figure out a way out of this mess.
Considering he's been stuck here since the very beginning of the game, I'm gonna go with no.
Well, maybe his plan just requires Mario.
Considering his plan is probably try and get out of here, yes it does.
Luigi had an idea!
Yeah, that one really hit a nerve, too. Toadbert, after this, becomes our somewhat arbitrary keeper of tutorials. You can go talk to him in the Toad Town to review anything you want. And he also has some very arbitrary knowledge.
Well, he's been poking around, he's been researching things.
I mean, it would make more sense if he swallowed the doctor or something. But he just magically knows that doing this and certain other things in Bowser's body give him new attacks. Now Bowser has a slide punch. Break certain things we couldn't before, and will act as our key mode of transportation.
Also makes it a little easier to get first strikes with the punch.
Makes it very easy to get them. Enemies on the field have a radius they'll move to. Sort of similar to how you think of leashing with MMOs, but they just will not step outside that box. So you can kind of taunt them like a dog at a electric fence.
And then run in and punch them.
Here's the... Oh, nope, that was not a multi-hitting. That was me screwing up. Here is how you hold down the button and get multi-hits with the fire.
And absolutely destroy that group.
And get a extra piece of equipment that will give you extra money drops. Still have to remember our original quest. We had to get a bonsai bill so we can put in this cannon, shoot it at our own castle.
Yep. It's a good plan.
I'm not entirely certain how one shot is going to bring the castle back under Bowser's control.
It's a step. Bowser probably just likes blowing stuff up.
Bowser's the Michael Bay of the Mario universe.
Yes. More explosions. Either that or Mythbusters.
They've already got the less plot part down. Might as well go somewhere. That one button push concession to gameplay.
Yep. There it goes.
Didn't really look like it was on a collision course on that world map, but seems to be headed there.
It's just an artist's depiction, not actual footage.
I'm guessing these Goombas are turncloaks. Traitors to the Koopa Troop.
They also seem a little bit smarter than your average Goomba.
Oh, the castle flies now. That's new.
Yep. Castle can dodge bullets.
For being a giant building made of stone, it's rather nimble.
I'm not certain how it's getting horizontal movement with only one downward-facing thruster. Maybe like all the Goombas are just blowing really hard out the back.
Yeah, I was gonna say. No, they just jump out and push.
In the air? It's all the paratroopers are just flying behind it, shoving it.
Well, it's kind of like a boat, you know, once it's in the water, it's actually really easy to push around.
Yeah.
Well, that was fun while it lasted.
Yep, Bowser's dead.
Yep, sucks.
The whole place just turns red.
Yep. Bowser is literally dying right now.
Ow, my everything.
And his anus is reacting.
His crotchal region.
Here's something we haven't done much before. Talk to a Globin.
Those purple ones over there are a little creepy.
We don't actually want to save our game. I just wanted to give you a taste of what the Globins talk like. Not these. These are special Globins. They're evolved Globins.
They're like the guardians of Bowser's body.
Are the Globins like a parasitic life form? And if Bowser dies, they die with him. So it's in their best interest to at least keep him alive. Other than saving your game and dispensing healing goo, they don't seem to be very beneficial. Minigame. I did a tutorial run, then fucked up the very end, so you get without the tutorial. It's fairly obvious.
It's Ikaruga.
Yes, it is Ikaruga for babies. The only thing you don't really see is if you hit the wrong color. Oh, never mind, there you do see it. It gets pissed off and comes at you fast, but you can still hit it with the correct brother.
And then Starlo has to tell you what getting hit does, which they apparently didn't teach you in the tutorial.
Yeah, for whatever reason they didn't. What this stuff is adrenaline, at least according to the story. Bowser's adrenal gland is in his butt. This is the closest thing we get to a boss.
It's a giant blue sphere.
It's life energy.
It's a spirit bomb.
At least while the minigames come fast and furious at this part, they're all short. But that's beside the point, because something much better is happening. Other than the literal rain of Goombas. Bowser got huge.
We've solved the mystery of how he changes size in every game.
Yep. Adrenaline. I wonder if Bowser would willingly put himself in near-death experiences just so that he could get this boost.
Maybe?
Just him standing in his castle under a swamp. It's like, come on, hit me! Again! We get to battle as Giant Bowser.
Crazy sideways vision.
Yeah. I can't turn my monitor sideways. This was kind of hard.
Isn't there like a hotkey that could just like spin your display?
Oh, yeah, there is. Kinda wish I thought of that. I don't know what that would do to the recording, though.
It's true.
Since this is an all-new thing, I'm actually going through the tutorial for it.
It's an all-new awesome thing.
It is so much fun. Instead of buttons, you control everything with the stylus. Bowser's little peanut galleries there, cheering him on the whole time.
Yep. The Paracoopa gets to give you the tutorial.
Well, he's the only one who can get up to Bowser's face.
You can't even hear the others.
No. For whatever reason, using the internal noise sample for this doesn't work, so I do actually have to swing my microphone in front of my face and blow into it.
That's odd.
Yeah. If I go to the test screen, it works fine, but it just didn't work for this part.
I guess maybe it works as like a voice thing, but not for blowing or something?
I don't know. Also, if I blow too hard, it clips my audio all the way out and stops picking it up altogether.
Oh dear.
It requires a very calm and gentle stream of air.
On the actual DS, I think you do need to blow fairly hard to actually get an excellent. Or, know like the precise spot to blow at or something.
There's a slight bit of difference between the DS microphone and mine, though.
Yeah. It's always the awkward ability to use if you're like actually on the go. Or even if you're just sitting around playing it and there's other people around and suddenly you just start blowing at your DS.
Like the very end of the first Phoenix Wright game.
Yep. I think all of them do it on the DS.
For the very last one before the credits, you have to actually yell at it.
It does not accept button presses for that one.
So of course, when I beat it, I was on the train. So I'm trying to sit there and whisper into my DS. It's just not picking it up, and eventually I just went, oh, fine. Objection! And then everyone looked at me funny. But hey, we're fighting Bowser's Castle. That's a thing. I love this section, just as a whole.
Yeah, the giant fight is a pretty cool idea.
Control, the animations, the whole idea of it, it's just all the tiny little minions running away in fear.
And flying out of the castle when you hit it.
Just because of the way the mouse input works on this is actually kind of hard to line up properly. The way you're seeing it with just the line in the middle is how I see it as well. So fireballs go out a little more than you think they do.
Yeah, because you don't get that bar.
Right, so there's like a break in the line effectively.
I believe the emulator does have a setting to put a bar in the middle of them.
It does, but that breaks the video editing tools that I use.
Right. I figured it had something to do with the editing. It does look kind of funny when he punches across the middle.
That's like the animation for the castle flying. Fortunately, I don't get an excellent punch at any point, but the harder you punch, the farther it goes.
The health bars are pretty funny because the icon for the castle is just another Bowser head. It's like some sort of Godzilla versus Mechagodzilla thing we got going on.
Kind of wish the icon updated when you beat it to look like the busted head.
That'd be pretty good. And just for good measure,
Crispy mid-bus. So that battle was a little tutorial-y. They made it easy.
yeah. I mean, they had to teach you how to do each attack, and then after that they didn't really chime in at all, so pretty good.
Yeah, they didn't even give you the option to heal, but you're unlikely to take enough damage. But hey, Bowser ranked up, which means I was robbed of the cool little animation. I'll make sure to grab that for the next rank up.
You get to do the roulette with the stylus.
It really does not want to accept my input for that. Danger averted. Bowser goes back to regular size. From the bottom up, apparently.
You made quite a crater there.
A new fault line in the Mushroom Kingdom just because of Bowser.
Now he's questioning what all that was about.
Though oddly enough, all that stamping and punching and breathing fire hasn't seemed to have affected anything other than this tiny little area.
I don't see any trees in the area, though.
Well, there weren't any trees here before, it was just where the cannon was.
True.
Which I guess was also crushed. That'll do it for today. Join us next time when we get to explore a whole new area.